So, good morning. Yesterday evening, I had the great pleasure I'm sorry Ruth isn't here. I'll try to remind myself to say something tomorrow too, but I went to Ruth's and her husband's dojo last night and did Aikido with them. And there's a real intelligence about the way that they're exploring Aikido that is usually, I don't go to dojos anymore because it's here's the big guy, let's see what he's got kind of thing, and I have no desire to be at that level of experience any longer. I'd do that on basketball court, but that's another story. but it was really fun to take these things that I've been teaching and then having the opportunity to go into an Aikido context with them, where you're upright, and then you're not only in the sagittal plane working in the way that we do, but working with people in movement and in different ways. So I can say to you that their practice is extraordinarily sane relative to a lot of different places that I've been. So I can, if you're interested in continuing to evolve these processes by which you are working upright and understanding the transmission of force through yourself, then I think it's a safe and nice place that you could, if you're around in this area, that would be a good place to enter into. So I think it's useful to have these ways of working three-dimensionally. Like I said yesterday, one of the things that was really instructive about Feldenkrais's life was that there was a period of time when he was a laborer and he lifted weight. He knew how to support himself in relationship to weight. And again, for many of us, that's never been our life's experience. So much of these things that I'm talking about come from the fact that in my life, I mean, I worked in sawmills. Part of my summer money was working in mills and doing really, really difficult labor. And I had one job that it's called pulling green chain. So when you take these big, massive logs from the Pacific Northwest and then the logs sit in ponds, so they gather water. And then they run them through the mill and they're sawn, and all the timbers that come off those logs, and that goes from in inches, 2 inches by 4 inches, all the way to 40 feet, 4 inches by 10 inches by 40 feet, or 4 inches by 12 inches by 36 feet. So, I mean, you can imagine that a piece, this is more than 30 feet, you imagine that you take a piece like that and you take a piece like that and then you take that length. And so, because I was always the biggest guy, they gave me the job of, on the green chain, you had on one side all the small timber that came out, and on the other side you had all the big timber that came out. And the way that it works, it's a huge platform, and with these big sprockets, and the chains have spindles on them. It's like they're rollers. So the wood's coming out, and then you roll the wood off, and you're standing, the chain's here, you're on a platform, and where you're loading is down there, and you have to take the wood and take it in such a way that it goes down, you catch it, you turn, you move. You cannot hold a 4 by 10 by 40 foot piece of wood out there. You just simply don't. And so all the movement of having it come, and you're pulling it off, and then as it comes off the train, you catch it and you turn it, and then you bounce it so that you can get it to move. And then you have to be able to bounce it and then move it. So there's no way in the world that you can do something silly and not really badly damage yourself. Yeah. So that was my summer work a few times. So there's something to be said about, if you have the opportunity to work with people in the dynamic process of rolling, tumbling, falling, standing, doing these things, it's a nice place to study. So I had a good time last night. All right. So how's everybody today? Okay. All right. We have a couple of more days. I leave Friday, so I won't be here Friday. Zorn, I think, will teach Friday. So, all right. Please come and lie on your back for a moment.